Objective of right now is to give you the insight into what's going on in your body, what's going on with your money, and what's going on with your relationships in December 2018. By the way, since you're here, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe so we can keep track of each other. And if you're watching this on the replay, please do hit that thumbs up, because what it does is not only let me know this content is useful and so I can keep putting it out for you, but it also gets it in front of all those other Scorpios out there who need to see this in their feed. And if you know any Scorpios, don't forget to share this with them, whether it's their rising, their sun, their moon, so they can take advantage of this advice as well. All right, put these cards in the right order. What's going on, Scorpio, for your health, your wealth, and your relationships? There we go. Ooh, all right. Scorpio, so first we got health, 2 of Wands, wealth, 4 of Cups, and relationships. Got this Spider Woman, the Mother of Stones. Just take a look at these real quick here. It's like you've got the opportunity to have some financial, or at least there will be some financial opportunities coming your way that you can probably make something out of, and um, health isn't going to be a financial burden. At least it doesn't seem to be. So let's dig into this a little bit more, because there's basically your focus this month in December is how do you find the opportunity to bring everybody together? Scorpio, you're the you are the my words are failing me, the person who's able to bring together family and friends this month. If there are other people in your lives who normally do that, it's going to fall on you this month. And I know it's a little weird. It probably feels a little funky, but you got some big arms. So bring everybody in. You don't have to worry about hurting anybody, because that's not the goal. The goal is to bring everybody together, make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, that they're where they're meant to be at the time they're meant to be there, so that things can go off without a hitch, I guess. It's going to probably be a little bit stressful for you, but that doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to do. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Something going on with relationships and your health that I haven't quite landed on yet, but we need to figure out why these two things are connected. So first, in your health, if you've been struggling with your health at all in the last year, now's the time to relax and let some of that go. You're going to find that you don't have to be as defensive about it as maybe you had been in the past. However, it takes a lot of mental energy to not worry about that stuff in December. Primarily because it doesn't mean that just because you may have had some mental health, or not mental health, because you may have had some health issues throughout the year, December just doesn't mean that it goes away, right? It just means that you don't have to be as focused on it during December as you have during other months of the year. But it takes a lot of mental energy to release that and focus on other things. So just to prepare you, it's gonna take some energy to not worry about health issues that have been going on for the rest of the year, but you have some freedom in doing that. What you might find is that you're going to have some arguments about health issues with other people in your family, because you're not focused on it like you should be. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like if you're a diabetic and you're not supposed to eat a whole bunch of sugar, and you know you can take a shot to help counteract the sugar, and family members know that you rely on the shot to counteract the sugar rather than moderating your eating in a way that is healthier for you, they're probably going to come for you and say, listen, you should be doing better. You're not supposed to be eating all that stuff. And you can say, I'm not worried about it right now. I need to just enjoy myself at the moment. So there's some there are people who are going to be frustrated with some of the choices you're making regarding letting some of your focus on health relax. But if you can give them some insight on why you're doing that, instead of feeling like you have to defend yourself, it may be less strong. It may be less of a struggle. Because you're probably going to feel like you want to defend yourself and say, "Oh, listen, this is my body, my life, my choice, my action. It's I can do this, and you don't have to come for me. I got it. I know what I'm doing." But instead, if you take the time to have the conversation, maybe you'll hear a little bit more from both sides, and they'll know why you're relaxing a little bit because you probably can, and you know your body better than everybody else. But don't forget, if you I'm not a health professional, if there are things that you're thinking about doing with your health, don't forget to discuss them with your health professional. This should inform conversations with a GP or any other medical professional that you're seeing, so that you're having constructive conversations about your health, not because your tarot reader said you don't have to worry about whether or not you eat sugar or not, because that's not the case. This should inform any conversations that you have with friends, family, and professionals. So, going on with health, there's a little bit of a relax there. Probably going to feel defensive when other people come for you. Maybe there's a better way to handle it than being defensive. That's all I'm saying. All right, money. Got the Four of Cups here. Like I was saying before, there could be a financial opportunity that comes your way during the month of December. It's more like someone drops something in on you and it's like, hey, have you ever thought about doing this with your money? And you have the opportunity to either hear that, take it in, and do something with it, or hear it, take it in, and ignore it. But what I think you might find is that that opportunity can um, be lucrative if you work with the right people, uh, and you don't just do it on your own. What I mean by that is so let's say you get a financial opportunity in December. The type of person who can help you with that, the type of person who can give you some good advice on that, is someone who understands larger financial pictures, someone who's experienced in matters, someone who understands family money matters, because I think there's something to do with family here as well, and someone who has been like ingrained in finances. Like it's part of who they are and what they do. So if you know someone like that who's ingrained in finances, understands larger picture and understands family finances, then they're the person to talk to this opportunity about that's coming your way so that you can feel better about a choice you're about to make, because it will affect how you feel about your money going forward. All right, relationships. This is Spider Woman. Um, in this instance, Scorpio, Spider Woman really feels like mom to me, or that mother figure, someone who would have played a mother figure in your life. She's she's worried about you. She's concerned about choices you're making, actions you're taking. This is probably the person who you're going to need to have a conversation with about your health. Um, if she is no longer alive, and this may be the case for some of you, if she's no longer alive, um, she comes in the form of either hearing her voice when you're making choices that she wouldn't approve of, or you're going to see her. For those of you that see ghosts or people who are passed, you're going to see her at specific intervals when you need to pay attention. I do think that she probably has some influence on the financial stuff that's coming your way. So whether or not she's the financial person you need to talk to, she has some influence on this financial conversation. So either she gets it and knows what to do, or she is involved in. So it could be like a will. It could be like a um, life insurance policy. It could be some other insurance policy related to financial matters that is affected by your mother. Um, so there's something going on with mom and money. Um, she may be that dual role of that financial person I was talking about, and she has some influence on this in some way. So mom's connected to the financial matter. It's pretty rare that these come up as an actual mother for me. So it's interesting, Scorpio, that mom is playing such a dominant role for you, especially if you're the person who's bringing everybody together in December, who's lining up who needs to be where and when, because you're not the normal organizer. I think I said this in the beginning too. So it feels a little weird, but for some reason it needs to be you. There's going to be it's going to be a successful thing for you. It's going to work out kind of well in the immediate. So it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. It just means you're going to be doing it this December. There's going to be that sense of pulling people together and organizing things around family this month. For some reason, like you're literally called to do it. It is a draw. You're going to have to, not because other people say you have to. It's because you will have no other choice. I think it's interesting that you're drawn to this, Scorpio. I don't know why. It's just you're drawn to it. Um, there's something there's something deep inside that is gonna make you feel like you need to pull all these people together. I think there's a secret, not like family secret that is like secret. I think there's something you're meant to learn. There's a secret you're going to learn here about pulling everybody together, going through this process. You may not even realize that you've learned it. It's going to be a it's going to be a very short-term lesson. You may not realize exactly what you've learned, but you're going to learn something, and it's going to come back later because it's going to settle in. What you won't be able to do is actually tactily use what it is that you learn. So it's going to take a minute. And by a minute, I mean, because you're not tactily learning, you're not working with whatever this thing is that you're learning, because you're called to bring everybody together. This thing that you're meant to learn, it's deep. You're not going to recognize it right away. It's just going to kind of sit there until you need it. You're probably going to have some dreams about it. You may not remember them. If you want to, you're going to want to write them down or record them with your phone right when you wake up so you remember what those dreams are so you can reflect on them later. But I think you're going to have a few dreams probably after the month of December, possibly during, um, but more around the 20th ish. Why there's timing happening right now, I don't know. It's happening. When timing happens, it happens. um, where you're going to want to pay attention to those dreams, because it's going to highlight what it is that you're learning that you're going to need to pull out later in life, but not right now. All right, Scorpio. that was exciting. There was some stuff that just had to come out of this reading, which I think is fascinating. That I love it when those kinds of things happen, where there's a little more insight that you just kind of never expected. All right, I hope this is helpful. If it is, don't forget to hit subscribe so we can keep track of each other. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so I know this content is useful, and it puts it in front of, just easily in front of other Scorpios in their feed so they can benefit from this information as well. And it's also helpful if you share out with all the Scorpios in your life, moons, risings, sun signs, so that they can take advantage of this information too. If you haven't checked out Comingouttarot.com, do head over there and check it out so you can find out how you can get a reading with me. And for those of you who are part of my newsletter list already, that coupon for the year ahead spread, it's going to expire at the end of November, so you're going to want to get that booked. If you can only book through November, the bookings can go through January. And for those of you who are looking for some Cyber Monday deals, I've got a code up on my site today, and that code is going to be activated on Monday so that you can get 10% off any of the readings that have a project plan. And for anybody who's interested in Giving Tuesday, I've got 25% of any readings that I sell on the 27th are going to go to Alma Chicago, ALMA Chicago.org. All right, thanks everybody.